Top 10 Best Marvel Movies. Number 10. Spider-Man: Far From Home, 2019. If you're always up for a spidery adventure, then one of the most romantic and fun productions of director Jon Watts will hook you from beginning to end. But if what you're looking for is not exactly romance, don't worry, because Peter Parker will also surprise you with his incredible action scenes fighting with Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who, believe it or not, was said to almost replace Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2. Fortunately, it didn't happen, and this time, along with Tom Holland, they convinced the demanding MCU fans with a masterful and full of wild energy performance. Also, thanks to the humor in the script and the surprising quality of its visual effects, this feature film reached 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. And that's not all. This sequel managed to gross more than $1.131 billion, becoming the first Spider-Man film to exceed $1 billion. Number 9. The Avengers, 2012. This time, Marvel released one of its cinematographic gems, The Avengers, or Marvel's The Avengers, as they called it in England to avoid confusion with the TV show and its 1998 film adaptation. Sorry, Stan Lee, you were late to the United Kingdom. However, that didn't matter because this feature film lived up to critical expectations and achieved 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Avengers collected $2.798 billion, making it the highest-grossing movie of 2012. Number 8. Guardians of the Galaxy, 2014. We've just landed in the best space adventure in the entire MCU. This film is full of funny moments, combined with action scenes and special effects. It was deserving of Oscar nominations for Best Visual Effects and Best Makeup. No wonder it managed to collect $773.3 million at the box office. Number 7. Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017. After the agreement signed between Marvel and Sony, in which they'd share the rights to Spider-Man, our arachnid friend joined the ranks of the MCU and made an entrance with Spider-Man: Homecoming. The homecoming part in the name is understood, right? A young 19-year-old Tom Holland was in charge of bringing this character to life. While for most fans he was way too young, this was always the great Stan Lee's idea in comics. He wanted our Spidey to be characterized by the problems and anxieties of any teenager. And eventually, this was what made him really popular, and his film became a favorite among fans, who rated it 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Finally, Homecoming collected over $880 million at the box office. Number 6. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, 2021. In 2021, Marvel introduced us to its first Asian superhero and the last one of the MCU. Although, to be honest, we were about to meet him before in the post-credit scenes of The Avengers, but it wasn't his time, so the idea ended up being scrapped. It automatically became a favorite among the critics, succeeding in collecting $432 million at the box office. Number 5. Thor: Ragnarok, 2017. This time, the God of Thunder makes an entrance along with the third film of the sequel, Thor: Ragnarok. Likewise, Chris Hemsworth's performance earned him a Teen Choice Award for Best Science Fiction Movie Actor. The musical selection was impressive, as it combined electronic and symphonic sounds, enough elements to make it rate 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. This film managed to collect $854 million and was considered to be the best and highest grossing in the Thor trilogy. Number 4. Iron Man 2008. This feature film represented the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its mega productions. This time, director Jon Favreau developed the brilliance of a script written by Stan Lee himself, in which he presents a millionaire called Tony Stark who was played by Robert Downey Jr. It's undeniable that this film is mostly successful due to the majestic and impeccable performance of Downey Jr. Iron Man was so highly anticipated and critically acclaimed that it rated 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and grossed over $585 million at the box office. Number 3. Spider-Man: No Way Home, 2021. It's the third and final installment of Spider-Man movies, and also the most awaited by fans due to the expectation that Marvel Studios generated. It was directed again by Jon Watts. No Way Home comes with 5 supervillains from outside the MCU to show us that the multiverse is a reality. The incredible evolution of Holland and the maturity that he gives to the character during the film were remarkable. This was decisive for the absolute approval of the fans, and the collection of over $1.804 billion, enough to become the highest-grossing film of 2021, even up to now. Number 2. Avengers: Endgame 2019. After the unsuccessful attempt to prevent Thanos from obtaining the powerful Infinity Stones, Infinity War Part 2, or Endgame as it was finally titled, came to put an end to this cinematic era and start a new one. This film was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, and it was one of the best, mainly because of its impeccable visual effects and its cinematography. The most surprising thing was that it managed to collect $2.798 billion, becoming the highest-grossing film of all time. Number 1. Black Panther 2018. This is the absolute winner of the top 10 list, and since 2018, it continues to be the best Marvel movie, according to the critics and fans that gave it 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Almost perfect. A thrilling triumph on every level, including writing, directing, acting, production design, costumes, music, and special effects. The script stands out mainly for its development by focusing on showing cultural aspects of ancestral Africa, so don't be surprised by the box office because it made $1.35 billion. The extraordinary premiere of the sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, is going to take place on November 11, 2022.